says this hangout on there is live, and I have a interview later on today, my second interview, in which I'm supposed to do a screen share and basically demo some Xamarin.Forms coding, which honestly I haven't done much with Xamarin.Forms in probably like man probably like 4 months, but I need to hopefully I can rely on muscle memory, and I'm sure I'll stumble on some things, but I don't know. Every once in a while, getting a kata in, it's all right to remind the brain of of how you used to be, you know, pretty good at something. So let me create a project called temp, or open a project called temp. It's okay if I delete this here because I just dumped it into a blog post last night. And yeah, so actually, I don't want to do this. Delete all this. Remove. I think I need glasses. No, we don't need you. Okay. And this is going to be in C sharp, unfortunately. And I'm adding a new project. And C sharp. Let's expand you. Cross-platform app. No, app. And we'll call this we call it temp X forms. I think I need glasses. I can't see. Okay. And do we want to do blank app? Yeah, well, we want to do portable class library. And we'll do a blank app. Come here. C sharp. So this is going to create my scaffolding, for lack of a better term. And I get to write some C sharp code. And I know I'm going to struggle on the XAML part. Just because I haven't written XAML in a while. I miss WPF. Xamarin.Forms, nah, but WPF, yeah, that was my stuff. So, creating a project, temp X forms. I'm sure it's doing a lot of things behind the scenes. And can I kill you? I guess I could kill you. Yeah. I got my emulator already up and standing, patiently waiting. So that's good. It took me a while to figure out how to launched that yesterday. I had to do all this command line voodoo, but you're up. Good stuff. And I'm surprised this is taking so long. All right, so it's almost done. Oh, shoot. I forgot. I'm not sharing my screen. And share my screen. That would have been bad. Okay, so sharing my screen. And this is taking a long time to create. Why is it taking so long? It looks like it's automatically pulling all the Android native packages, because I'm looking down here, adding Xamarin.Forms 2.4.0. But before this message, it was saying adding Google something. So I wish I would have known that before I started this video. Yeah, so this might take a while. But I guess I can kill you, SQL Server. Now, what else can I do? What I'm going to try to do is I'm going to, all right, so it finished bootstrapping the template. And do I have my extensions in here? So if I go to, how do I do this? How do I go to extensions? Extensions and updates. And yeah, I have my extensions on here. All right, cool. So, which means that I should be able to just hit save and it'll remove all these unused imports. If I hit save, nope, it doesn't do that. So how do I do that? I should be able to go to tools options. I should have power tools in here. Do I have power tools? I don't know if it's called power tools or productivity tools. I don't see it in here. Let's try to add it. So, come here. I should be able to say something like, hold on, what's this? I'm not sure what that was. I thought it was like tools. Oh, get tools and features. I'm not sure what that is. So I should be able to like just type in like power tools. I'm not sure if it's called power tools or productivity tools. Uh, bu- 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 and it's not showing up at the top of the list because let's try it again. Power tools. No. Do I need to put a space in between? No. Come here. Power tools? No. Okay. Productivity tools. And it says that it's already in here. And so it's individual extensions of productivity tools 2017. So it's already checked. I didn't see it in here. So I'll go back up here. Go to options. I don't see you in here. Where are you at? Performance, Python. I don't see it in here. Hmm. Yeah, that's if I have productivity tools installed on here, then well, here's F, no, that's F sharp tools. There should be productivity tools on here. I don't see it. All right, so I might have to forget about that part. Well, it has file nesting. Yo, what the freak? It has refactoring essentials. If I expand that, doesn't really have much in there. What am I missing? Where is productivity tools? Come here. Yo, you're not in here. All right, let me look at this one more time. Extensions and updates. Productivity tools. Now, it says it's in here. I'm going to uninstall it. I'm going to reinstall it because you should show up. And your changes will be scheduled when, okay. So save all that. And if I close this and reopen it, I don't know. the uninstall should take place or should get triggered when I launch this. And it says schedule test for modify, uninstall, and I say modify. And it's going to go ahead and start uninstalling. Then I'm going to re-add it, and it should show up in my options. I'm not sure why it didn't show up. I didn't see it. But I'm going to reinstall it, go to options, and then check a certain setting so that when I save on any file within the editor, it automatically removes and sorts the namespace imports. So this is doing a lot of things. I don't expect it to take this long. Oh, it says waiting for some procedures to be shut down. What are you waiting for? So what, you want me to kill this again? All right, kill Visual Studio. Okay, so I killed Visual Studio. And now it's uninstalling. I guess I could kill you too. Okay. So when I go back to Visual Studio, I guess I could delete you. And I could delete you too, because you guys are no longer needed. I'll go back to Visual Studio. And open this temp solution. And sooner or later, it's going to load my solution. Let's try this again. You go to Tools, Extensions, and Updates. And type in productivity tools online. Type in productivity tools. Damn it. Hold up. Can I start? I don't like this. Hold up. Go again. Click online and type in productivity tools. And I don't see it on here. Do I type in power tools? Is that how I found it last time? Did I spell productivity wrong? Power tools. Productivity power tools. Okay. Download that. It says your changes will be scheduled when Visual Studio closes. Kill that. Okay. So I'll close Visual Studio. All right. This Vsix installer gets triggered. Unless they removed the productivity power tools options from the Visual Studio options, then I guess I would understand that, but it used to be in there. So let's reinstall this and see if it shows up in the options pane or options window. Okay, so installed that. Go to my solution again. No, I don't need the shortcut. I'll delete you. What's this Xamarin architecture document? Oh yeah, this looks familiar. Manage callable wrapper, Android callable wrapper. Am I? What's happening? Okay. And Visual Studio 2017 has stopped working. Okay. What do you mean my subscription expired? Oh, that's talking about Microsoft Word. My computer is low on memory. I don't have anything open. This freaking emulator, that's probably what's happening. All right, so let's kill this emulator. And then try to relaunch Visual Studio again. I installed Productivity Power Tools, and it should show up in the options window. So, all right, that loaded. Go to the tools, options, and let's see if it's in here. No, I don't see it in here. All right, they must. That's weird. They must have removed it. It's obviously not in refactoring essentials. It's not in R. It's not. It's none of this. All right, so I'm about to tap out. There's text editor. There's project solutions. There's environment. Yeah, it's not in here. I don't see it. I see everything else, but I don't see this. I see refactoring essentials in here. That's an extension. I see file nesting in here. That's an extension. I don't see the productivity power tools. So, all right, I'll give up. So I got this Xamarin.Forms application, and yeah, I don't like. I guess I could do Control Dot and just do it like that. Okay. So when I launch this blank application, it should spin up the Visual Studio emulator, Visual Studio Android emulator. And that might take a while. Oh, I'm reviewing this Xamarin Android architecture that I made a table of. And so everything runs on the Linux kernel that sits at the very bottom. And then you have this mono execution environment that sits on top of the kernel. In addition to that, you have your Android runtime, which is on the same level. And you have your Android callable wrapper. I think the Android callable wrapper is the .NET libraries that basically enable the ability to invoke or trigger Android specific operations or operations that are specifically on the Android operating system. Well, maybe not operating system. Well, yeah. Well, yeah. I think that's the way it works. And your managed callable wrappers, I believe, is for the Android operating system to basically trigger. How does this work? It's been a while since I reviewed this architecture. The managed callable wrapper is basically how, I can't remember. It's how certain methods get invoked by no, that's Android bindings. I don't know. I can't remember. I got to review it. All right, so the emulator got spun up. And so now what I want to do is I want to create a view model, I guess. I usually, we could remove this iOS project. Come here. And what I usually do is, so we have Xamarin.Forms. And do I throw a view model in here? I don't know. I could throw a view model in here. Yeah, I'll throw a view model in here. Or I could create a separate library and throw a view model in there. Yeah. Yeah, okay. So I'll do Control-Shift-A to add a file. And, I don't know if I want to do that. Maybe I should create a folder called, I'm going to keep it simple. All right, so I'll get ready to add a class, and I will call this view model. Okay, and so I got this view model class, and so there's certain things that I know. I know that this class needs to at least be internal. I'm just gonna make it public. Okay, and this class is supposed to implement this thing called iNotify property. I can't spell property. Changed. Okay, iNotify property change and generate interface. That sounds good. And no, that's not what I wanted. That's not what I wanted. So iNotify property changed. Is that? Yeah, that's it right there. Okay, get rid of all these unused crap. And I need to implement this interface. I'm just going to add this public event. Yeah, that right there. Okay. Now, what I want to do is there's usually there's I think it's private void on notify changed. And this is supposed to have like a caller member name attribute. Forgot how this works. Caller member name. How do you do this? I don't remember how to do this. And property. How do you do this? I think it's called like string property equal something like that. I can't remember how to do this. I think it's caller member name, something like that. Yeah. Okay. And so this property is it's really property name, I think. And so with that, I say something like, how do you do this? I say, I forget how to do this. I know somewhere in this method I have to call this, or I need to trigger this property change event. And then I think I pass in like this as an instance, and I think I say new property change event args, and I pass in property name. Yeah. And yeah, I think it's something like this. Boom, boom, boom. Now, before I call that, you need to make sure that it's not null, which I think like if I do something like this, change to there's an add null check, but that doesn't. I think I could always use like a. I thought I could use like a question mark, something like that. Yeah, and so it. I think this checks for null. If it's not null, then it'll go ahead and invoke it like that. So I think that's the way it works. We don't need the braces, man. Braces are like really uncool, like I'm cool. So I think it looks something like this. And my OCD is taking over because, C sharp is very verbose, and I don't want this thing to have just hella code everywhere. I want my signal to be loud and clear without all this noise. And it doesn't look like noise right now, but it will, I promise you. So I say that because I'm gonna actually throw this on notify change in a different file. Right, so you're like, what? You gonna throw it in a different file? Yeah, I'm gonna throw it in a different file. So I'm gonna call this come here, view model internal. And you, my friend, you're gonna be a partial class view model, okay? And you, my friend, you also need to be a partial class. Come here, view model, okay? And we're going to take you up here. Well, we need you right here. I'm going to cut you out. I'm going to put you over here. Yeah. Come here, come here, come here. All right, so, yeah. And so, like, we're going to take this private method, and we're going to move this into our internal. Yes. All right. And so, come here. Do that. Come here. Yep. And I think we're okay right now. All right. So we got this right here. That's lovely. Then we got these two files that are really siblings. We don't want them to be siblings. We want this view model to be a root and this view model.internal to be a child of it. So I think I could do something like Control Alt N. And I'll say, yeah, come here. And so then now you're embedded inside this view model, you view model.internal file. All right, get in the zone. Come here. All right, so we got this view model, and yeah, that looks okay right now. So what? We got this view model. Now what? Well, probably want to create a class called person, right? So, yeah, do I still want to keep this in this portable Xforms library? I don't know. Usually, whatever. Okay, fine. So like, I'll create a new class, and I'm gonna call this class person. Come here, and I got this person class, and I say, yo, you public class person, and I get rid of this noise up here because I don't want to see it. Oh, all right, come here. And so like I got this person. This person is going to have it's going to have a name. And if I do this shortcut, I just type in prop and I do tab, yeah. And I can say this name is going to be string, and well, the type is string, and this is going to be called name, yeah. And I'm cool because I don't have setters in my property, no sir, right? Unless I have to interact with some like external tool or library, hence SQLite, which relies on mutability, right? But I like my domain logic to be pure, and I don't like modifying that. So everything's gooders. So here's a name. This name is going to basically represent, I guess, a full name. I don't know. Is there anything else that I want? Oh, yeah. This person's probably going to have a image URL. Oh, come here. So we got this in that right there, and we call this a image URL. I said I'm cool. I don't have setters, man. Okay. So yield. Now what? Okay, so we got this person. Now remember, if our properties are immutable, then we need to have more than likely a constructor that will initialize our properties. Okay, so I'm like, all right, fine, come here. So I'll just say ctor tab. That's a shortcut for a constructor, and I say it's going to take a string name, and it's going to take a string image URL. Okay, yeah, all right. So do that. And I say that, yeah, your name is going to be your name, and your image, come back, image URL is going to be your image URL. Oh, all right. We got that. All right. Now what? Well, everything should compile. Everything should compile, build. Okay. So we now have our person class. We have our view model class, okay? And what we don't have is a unit test. Well, we don't really have any business rules to add a unit test. Hence, I haven't discussed having a button on here or anything like that, and I'm not going to have a button on here. Right now, I just want to, I guess, create a landing page. All right, so now what? Oh, this is where things probably get tricky because this is a person class, but in our view model is actually going to rely on a list of people, but we can't say list when we talk about MVVM. We have to say observable collection. All right, so like, come here. Observable. How do you spell observable? Observable collection. Come here. It's going to take person. All right. And we're going to call this people. We're going to say new. How do we do this? This is a property, right? Yeah. And how do you do a property? Oh, come back. Let's say prop tab. Okay, and that is going to be observable collection that operates on person. Okay, and we're going to call that people. Yeah, and I think this has to have a setter. I think it does. I could be wrong. Yeah, I think it has to have a setter. Whatever. I could test that later. So, this observable collection, need to import the namespace for that, and everything should still build. Okay. Now what? Okay. Well, we probably need to load some people. And now I would say the view model should probably have a load method on it. This load method on this view model shouldn't be, well, should it be exposed? I don't think it should be publicly exposed, but well, maybe it should. Well, let me think about this. Ultimately, on when our page loads, the we want to initialize the view model. Now, because this right now, this this view model is actually inside of this DLL, then we can mark this would-be load operation as internal instead of public. But and that might be okay. Yeah, okay, fine. So, but it's internal, so it's still not publicly exposed. Yeah. So let me go to my. Oh, come here. There should be a view model. Oh, come here. There should be a view model internal. Okay, and I'll put my load method in here. For whatever reason, I like having my on notified change at the very bottom, but my I'm gonna say by default, by default things are private. I thought by default classes are internal, but yeah, by default classes are internal, but methods are private. Okay, but I marked this view model as public over here. I should be able to say internal, which by default I could just delete like this. You don't like that, do you? I do that. Um, well, I shouldn't have to specify it everywhere. No, I shouldn't have to do that. It should be straight like that. Oh yeah, because the public's already there. Yeah. So I was right. So like, I shouldn't do that. And missing. Oh yeah, because I need partial. Okay, so this class is internal, and within this view model dot internal file, I'm going to create a private. It's not private. Internal method called. Is there such thing as an internal method, or is it just called protected? I don't know. Internal void load, and that's going to. Oh no, load some people. How do we do this? Let's say, how do you do this? You say new. How do you do this? You just say load. I'm ultimately going to throw this inside of my people property. I'm used to writing the syntax. Let me use it like this, and then I'll bring it back. So you can say your well, yeah. I guess I could go up here and I can initialize my observable collection right here. New. Okay. I guess I could do that. And then when I go back here, this load, I could probably say bar Scott, or yeah, I can say var Scott equal new person, and it's going to say Scott, and the image URL is going to be some URL, some image URL. Okay, and my OCD is taking over. So we could have something like that. And then for our people, we would just say people dot add, and then we just add Scott. Okay, and that's the way it would probably work. Okay, now we could also say var Brian equal new person, and we kind of do something similar. And we assign the name Brian. Okay. Now, what else we could do is we could say, no, come back, come back, come back. We could also add a third person. We call this person Charisse. Charisse. I'm missing the E. Charisse. And, it's not complete unless I add another person. So say this is Charisse. And then one last person, and we'll call this Anna. Okay. And do that. Okay. Now, if I do that, then I think I should be able to say like people equals new people. Come back, bring it back, bring it back, equal new people. And then I should be able to do something like this where I say Scott, Brian, Charisse, and then Anna. I should be able to do something like that. And I should be able to get rid of this right here and instead import it. Okay. And so we have this right here. Now, that may be okay, but I don't know. Like, maybe I could just do all this and, oh, shoot, come on. Maybe I could do all this like this, and maybe, just maybe, I could do something like this and then bring all that in here. Okay. Delete that. And maybe I can just maybe do something like this and replace these semicolons with a comma. I'm curious how that will work out. Oh, Scott, you're so smart. But I'm missing, yeah, so get rid of that. And do that. And something like that. And get rid of that. And, well, that should be a semicolon. So we should be able to do something like this. And my lint tool tells me I don't need parentheses there. And I should be able to do something like this. And I should be able to do something like this. And so that might be okay. OCD is taking over. I like everything to be columned. Yeah. There you go. Okay. Does it still compile? And it should still compile. Okay. So we got Scott, Brian, Charisse, and Anna. I'm going to some URL. And this is my load function. Okay. Now let's talk about the XAML. The XAML. Ugh. All right. So in regards to the XAML, we didn't do anything yet, but within the code behind, because I'm not cool enough to do it in XAML yet. I'm not sure if that's supported yet. To do the load function in there with an actual XAML. We have this public main page. Now I believe that in Xamarin.Forms, there's not like an on-page loaded event, but I do believe that there is a on-page appearing protected method. So I think, right? So I could say protected and then void and on. Is it protected override? How do you do this? Protected override on appearing. What's that? You're so smart. All right, and so on here, when this page is appearing, this is analogous to the page is loading. And so because it's appearing, then this is probably where we want to load in the data, right? Initialize this view model. All right. So in order to initialize the view model, well, we need to have the data context. Let me say var, well, in data context is WPF talk. In Xamarin.Forms, it's called binding context. All right. And so we say var binding context equals, and then I think it's like this dot binding context as view model. Okay, I think that's the way it goes. And so we have this var binding context equals this. I'm like, well, we don't need this, right? We delete that. Thanks, lint tool. Okay, and we could say now that we have an instance of our view model, we can say view. Well, so yeah, so it's not called binding context, it's called view model. All right. So now we should be able to say like view model, and we should be able to say view model dot and call load. Yes. All right. And that should be pretty much it. All right. So that's the data in our, that's the code in our code behind. All right, so we do that. Now what? All right, well, we got to wire things up. This is the part where I'm going to start getting screwed up because I don't really remember XAML. I know one thing is we. I know one thing is we need to. We have our temp X forms right here, right? That's our namespace right here. So we should be able to spin up within XAML our view model instance by saying content page dot binding, dot binding context, right? And then we should be able to say like local. How does this work? Do I use a dot or a colon? Yeah, a colon, and then say view model. Okay, that should spin up the view model within our XAML when the XAML is getting executed. Um, and so because we have the statement right here, this should go ahead and when this gets executed, it's actually creating the instance that this view model right here in the code behind relies on. Okay, so that appears to be handled. Now, what else? Well, we have this content page that content. Okay, so in here, I think we want to have like a list view. Okay, so this is where things are going to get perhaps confusing for me. I think I can say like list view, and this list view needs to have a data source. Okay, is it called data source? What is it called in here? Oh shoot! It used to be called data source in WPF. List view dot binding context. Yeah. Well, is that called binding? Why can't I? It's not called data source. Hold up. Come here. List view dot source item source. Okay. Yeah, you can tell it's been a while, and I can do this, and then I can say, how do you? Ooh, man, my memory is leaving me. It should have been like item source equals, and I thought it was like I thought it was supposed to be like something like binding, and then I will point to like people. That's my memory is leaving me. I thought it was something like this. I could look it up somewhere. Ah, yeah, I have to look it up. Um, but anyway, within this list view, then I would have like this list view dot item template. And then I would have a data template. And then I think I would have something called like a view cell. View cell, I think. In this view cell, I would have a grid. Oh, shoot. I would have a grid. And then I would say like grid dot row definitions. It would just be one row. But so like this isn't really necessary, I don't think. But then I would just say row definition. And then I think I would say like shoot, grid dot column definitions. And I here would take an opportunity to define two columns. How do you do this? I would say like column definition. Okay, and then I want two of them. So I think I would do something like this. Okay, if memory serves me correctly. I can't remember this right here. Uh, is it? Do I just say binding context? I can't remember. I can't remember this. I can't. Data context. Data context was pointing to a view model. Binding context is pointing to the view model. I think it's. I think it's binding context here. Uh, but that's. I don't know. I think it's like that. It's one of those things. Anyway, we go back to the list view, and then we want to like. This is going to annoy me. All right. So then we have like. How do we want to do this? We have like label, and yeah, this is where my memory gets foggy. Label, and we say text equals, and then we say binding. It's supposed to be like, okay, so it is binding. Okay. Yeah. Do this over here. Why am I holding on the caps bar? Uh, binding, and it should be like, yeah, because binding, you say source equals people. Is that how you do it? But you shouldn't have to do that. You should just be able to do this. Because if you say source and then later you can specify a path to a property, yeah, I think this is okay right here. But in the label, you say text binding, and this should basically, honestly, I'm not even sure if I need to put binding in here. Text binding, and I say name, okay? And then, well, this label, I need to specify where it's going to be at within the grid. So I think I say like grid dot column equals 0. And then I have another, it's not a label though. I have an image, and this is going to be, yeah, actually, yeah, we're going to switch it up. The image is going to be the first column, and the label is going to be the second column. And so we have image, and then we have that. And I think there's a property called source on the image, like that. And we say binding, is it binding? And we say like image URL is the name of the property. I think it's something like this. It's very close. I mean, if anything, I got the syntax wrong, but this is how you do it. Okay. So then, well, first, let me see Xamarin.Forms um, and data binding. Let me see what the actual syntax is. Is yeah, binding. Okay, so that's the syntax. This right here, and yeah, I should be straight. So, in addition to that, um, am I sharing my screen? I thought I was sharing my screen. Yeah, I'm sharing. All right. So in addition to that, what else am I looking for? Oh yeah. I need some images. So I see. I don't know. It's how do you spell Young Jeezy? Young Jeezy. How do you spell Jeezy? Is this right here? Yeah, Jeezy. Come here. Yeah, we're gonna take you. So we got Young Jeezy, and we're going to use that as our image. Come here, view model. Oh, come here, internal. And uh, Brian, he could be Young Jeezy. Okay. And Charisse, who can Charisse be? Charisse can be hmm hmm yeah. I don't want her being super hot. She has to be an average looking woman. Who's the average look? Yeah, I don't know. How do you spell Patty Bell? I wonder if she's still alive. Where's the images at? I thought Patty Bell is a singer. No. Hey, this lady looks okay. All right, so like, we do this. Ah, and this is going to be Sharice's image. Yeah. Oh. Yo, what about this Anna? This Anna. Yeah, this is that's where things start getting weird. So Anna, you can be this person right here. I don't know who this is. And well, no, nah, nah. Okay, yeah, I don't want to get in trouble. So this Anna, that's going to be this URL right here. And me, oh, I'm Scott Dog. Right? So I'm Scott Dog. So Scott Dog, he has the original. I'm scared to Google my name though. Probably gonna have hella hateful links about me. Scott Dog. Come here. Oh, I want the image though. Come here. So, yeah, I like this one. Yeah. So we take this younger version of me. Hey, handsome, and we do this, and should be all right. Everything still builds, right? Everything still builds. Uh, Everything still builds. So theoretically, things should just work. I know it's not going to work, but theoretically, like this looks okay to me. And I mean, I have it bound to people, right? I set my data context. It should just work, but I know it's not going to work, and I'm scared that I'm going to spend an hour on this video troubleshooting some funky XAML error, and then I'm going to be stuck. And yeah, And so, where's my funky XAML error? Yeah, and nothing's loading. So the question is, in here, I don't see any funky output errors. Why aren't you loading? Yeah, so that's weird. I think I did everything right, but it's not loading. Now, maybe I need to launch it again, and maybe it'll behave differently. I mean, this is OOP, so it's not deterministic, right? You could. I don't see any errors on here. Uh, don't I have a debug? Yeah, I'm in debug. I don't see any errors on here. Why aren't you loading? Uh, okay, Scott, come on. We gotta think it out. So first, let's try to troubleshoot this. Cookie, why are you looking at me? All right, so my dog is looking at me. We can first say, yeah, like I think this should work, man. I think I did everything right. Do that, and in our content, we should just say label, and we should say text equals hello world. Okay. Let's see if that works. And I'm going to be upset if that works, but I'm also going to be upset if it doesn't. I don't see anything. Oh, hello world is in here. That gets loaded. So why the freak are you not loading my list view? Oh, come here. So hello world gets loaded. So what am I doing wrong? I bet you it's this item source. I'm probably not using the correct syntax. Try this again. I promise you it's the item source. It's probably not even called item source. It's probably called something else. There's a lot of stuff going on. Yeah. So it's not loading. Okay. It's not. And I don't have any errors in here. Do I have any errors? I don't have any errors in here. That's debug. What else is there? Xamarin Diagnostics? And nope. I don't see anything in there. What else? Go to Xamarin. No, nothing is in there. Let's say I was in debug already. Build order, IntelliSense. What's this test? Nope. Yeah, so I don't know why it's not loading. So now I need to go here and I need to say Xamarin.Forms list view. Okay. And I need to figure out why you're not working. Why aren't you working, man? Like, what did I not do? And of course, you're not showing me the data sources. Come here. So, why are you showing? Show me the XAML. So in here we have binding display name, item template. I don't see them. They don't. They're not setting a. That's not right. They're not setting a. Okay, binding right here. It's list view. Assuming list view item source is a list of strings. Yeah, so I have item source in here, I thought. What do I have in my XAML? Items source. Items source. Yeah, so like I don't know why it's not working. It's the same freaking spelling. Hold up. Item source. It's the same spelling. And we bound it to people. And so maybe I should go here and I say Xamarin.Forms. Let me Google Xamarin.Forms list view item source. And let's look at the Stack Overflow. And they have I have maybe yo, why aren't you working? All right, so I'm not sure why this isn't working. Say local. Do I need to make it? Do I need to make my view model public? Let's make you public. Which it shouldn't be necessary. Yeah, so I don't need the public here. Yeah, I don't. Why aren't you working? All right, let's first put a breakpoint right here to see if it even gets triggered. Just load. Oh, you know what? Hold up. Mm, main page. Let's put a breakpoint right here too. And let's run this again. What are you complaining about? I set some breakpoints. Now I'm waiting to see if any of the breakpoints get triggered. Okay. So the breakpoint does get triggered, and I have my view model, and it's my people is set to 0. I then have on my view model, I say people equals new observable collection, and should see if my notified property changed. Ooh, that's probably why. Well, no, hold up. In here, okay, hold up. I think I know why. In my view model, I didn't. Yeah. Okay. So in here, I think I still have to do like the. Yeah, I forgot all about this part. In here, I need to set. I need to have my getters and setters. So how do we do this? You have get, which yeah, I forgot all about this. I think this is why I was looking at a blank screen. People do that. And then the get is going to say are we going to do this get? Get is, yeah. Get is just going to return people, like that. And the set needs to trigger the on notify property change. So we should say, like, if back in the old days, we used to say if people not equal to value, then people equal value. And we would say on notify property changed. You should just be able to do that. And the compiler will do some magic and pass in that property. Okay. I think that is how it is supposed to go. We weren't calling the notify property changed. Okay. So that should work. It was definitely needed. Again, I haven't freaking done Xamarin.Forms in a long time, but this is needed. This is essential, and it has to be there regardless of a page not loading. So we do this, and we can call load, and this people thingy, boom, 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 and we do that. Okay. Now we do that. Okay, I did that already. Let's just run it. And we call this, the property name should be people, and that is needed. And we got some stuff in here. Now the question is, where's my image at? I thought I put an image in here. Oh, where's my image? So this is getting loaded. I don't see the thumbnails. Okay. Why aren't I seeing my thumbnails? So we go back to main page.xaml, and we got row, column, and we say image source equals binding URL or image URL. Oh shoot. Yeah, so like I have this binding, but I don't have the actual the actual markup extension, whatever you call that thing. Supposed to look like that. Okay. And you, my friend, OCD is taking over. Hold up. Yeah, gotta get things aligned. Yeah. And you are supposed to go in here. Oh, Scott, you're so smart. Okay. So that's done. And yeah, this should work now. So you launch the application and you should work, my friend. You should work, my friend. You should work, my friend. All right, we could get rid of these breakpoints. And oh, yeah. You know what though? That's really small. I want it to be bigger. So let's make it bigger. I don't remember how to do the horizontal alignment thingy. How do you do this? So like, how do you do this? Is it how do you do the alignment stuff? Horizontal options. And I think it's like start. I don't know how to. You do it like that, and then yeah, I don't know. But I want my image to be bigger. So let's say width request equals it's 50. It's 50. All right, height request. You do that. I assume that these are the Now, something that is supposed to be a feature that I haven't tested yet is there's supposed to be a tool where I think it's called like Xamarin.Forms Preview, and it should enable you to basically, when you're in XAML, you're able to see the actual. Yeah, that looks a little bit better. It should be bigger though. The images should be bigger. Anyway, this maybe because it's I need to set the height of the width and height of the column. Well, not the height of the column. Maybe because I need to set the height of the column. But you know what? I want you to be aligned with my image. So I do something like this. Come here. Okay. And why aren't you working? So for the column, I guess I have to say width equals 50 and height. Where's my height at? Oh, well, I'm in the column. Okay. For the row, I say height equals 50. And this may not be needed over here. So we relaunch that. Now I hope that resolves it. Maybe the image is small because I need to specify the, hmm. Well, actually, I could say height equals star, or is it auto? Okay, I don't know. Any, yeah, but it's killing me to figure out. How do you do this? Auto, what's the difference between auto and star? I think auto, auto, star fills in the remaining space. Let me make this ridiculous. If this doesn't work, then I just give up. Are you going to look any different? Okay, that looks better. So it should. Hmm. Okay, so I'm almost getting somewhere, but it's if we do star instead, what's the difference? Run that. View cell or grid. And we're back to square one. So the auto part worked, but yeah, this is nagging at me. The auto part works. Thing is, hmm, what if I could just got rid of this whole thing? Bet you that's it. Problem there. Watch this again. I'm almost positive this one's going to work. All right, I give up. Anyway, so this is basically me practicing from memory. It really bothers me. I can't figure this out. I want to figure this out. Hold up. This image should be like height. Minimum height request is 75. And it's, yeah, that shit just, because okay. I think I understand now. I'm not setting the second column. So the second column, I think this should be star, and this should be auto. I thought star is like fill in the remaining space, and auto is just wrap wrap around whatever the size of the element is. God damn it, Scott. What the oh, okay. So auto, and then we do star here. Replay this one more time. And I should say maximum. Mm, all right. I'm going to call it quits. Maximum, let's say, width. We're gonna say 200 and 200. We're just gonna be done with it, man. Like, yeah, because I'm starting to. This is getting to me. I need to learn this Xamarin.Forms previewer so I could stop this asinine relaunching the application every single time. Yeah. So anyway, I don't know how to fix this. I don't know how to increase the height of this. Oh no, I'm not giving up. Hold up. So height equals 200. Or row height equals 200. And the column equals boom, boom, boom. Theoretically, that should work. The height of the row, it should respond to what I just put in here. And it's taking a little bit longer to load. Okay. And it didn't load the images at all. No, it didn't load the images at all. How does setting the height, whatever. That's weird. So leave that. And we're going to remove all this. And do something like this. And I should. All right, I quit. It wasn't meant to be. Width request 300. Height request 300. And replay it just so I could get an image again. If these images don't load, yeah. All right, I'll quit. It wasn't meant to be. Anyway, let me go back. Done. Go back. Stop sharing. And that is it. So that's me doing a trial run for building a little sample Xamarin.Forms app that I have a technical phone screen later today on. Yeah, good stuff. All right, I'm out. See ya. Bye.